Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question comes to us from the True Stories collection. In other words, this is a real ruling that I actually made at a tournament that I judged recently. I love these sorts of rulings because, of course, the ones from real tournaments have a special value due to the fact that someone actually had this situation in real life and they wanted to know how it worked. Expect to see a lot more of these as Magic tournaments open back up and they become more commonplace. For today's question, Nick controls Thalia, Heretic Cathar, and Amy is playing Hallowed Fountain. Amy wants to know, can she pay 2 life to make Hallowed Fountain enter the battlefield untapped? Okay, so to answer this question, we're going to look carefully at exactly what happens as Hallowed Fountain enters the battlefield. There are 2 replacement effects trying to apply to it, one from itself and one from Thalia. Amy, as the affected player, gets to choose what order those replacement effects apply. Unfortunately, that privilege does not really help her out very much here. To see why, let's examine what will happen. If Amy chooses to pay 2 life, then that means that the replacement effect from Hallowed Fountain will allow the Hallowed Fountain to enter the battlefield untapped. However, the replacement effect from Thalia is still going to apply to this permanent, and so it's still going to enter the battlefield tapped. If you apply things the other way, then first Thalia is going to modify the event of Hallowed Fountain enters the battlefield to Hallowed Fountain enters the battlefield tapped, and then if you try to apply the Hallowed Fountain replacement effect, you could still pay 2 life, but the event of Hallowed Fountain entering the battlefield has already been modified. So even though Hallowed Fountain entering the battlefield tapped from its own ability is not going to happen, it's still already entering the battlefield tapped due to Thalia's ability. The paying 2 life is not going to be able to get you out of that one. This is the same reason why, for example, if you're using Farseek to get a Hallowed Fountain, you are not able to pay 2 life to get that Hallowed Fountain into play untapped in that case either. There's 2 different types of things that want the Hallowed Fountain to come into play tapped, and the Hallowed Fountain's own ability only lets you pay 2 life to get out of one of them. Now, another interesting kind of thing about this situation is that the Thalia and the Hallowed Fountain both have replacement effects that make the Hallowed Fountain want to enter the battlefield tapped. However, this does not count as Hallowed Fountain entering the battlefield tapped twice or super tapped, and it will not generate 2 triggers from, for example, an Amulet of Vigor. The event of Hallowed Fountain entering the battlefield is still only happening 1 time, and that means that you would only get 1 trigger out of your amulet in this case. And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again tomorrow for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.